Welcome to Apex Racing TV and welcome to a very overcast Oulton Park. I'm Chaz Draycott alongside Alex Simpson and you are joining us for the BSR MX5 Spring Series. It's the final round of the series and what a better place to do it. There's just amazing respect for Oulton Park among the sim racing community, and it's a tight and twisty track, often described as well, it's like a mini Nürburgring, I think Joachim Winkelhonk said back in the 90s. And what do you reckon tonight's going to give us, Alex?
Yeah, I think 4 good races tonight. Do love Oulton. Of course, we haven't got the chicane sort of section. I'm trying to think of what the corner name is that it leads into, actually, but I can't. I need a mini map. That's it, Knickerbrook. I knew it was something along those lines. And yeah, so that's going to be interesting. Typically, you know, that can be an overtaking spot, but I actually feel the MX5s will get a slightly better run, and we still going to be enough of a braking zone in there that we might see moves in there. So it should be good. The hairpin always a good place for a move as well. But I think it'll be quite tight. People seem to know this circuit well, and there's not a huge amount of places you can sort of gain and lose time, and the slipstream is really going to keep the pack nice and close together. So the reverse grid race is really exciting to watch how the quick guys come through with limited places to get a move done. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. They're going to hope for small reverse grid wheels while we're going to be hoping for the big ones.
Definitely. And with it being the final round of this season as well, it's worth mentioning that Jack McIntyre is top of the standings at the moment, ahead of Alex Cherney by 106 points. But Jack is actually not qualifying. I believe he may have had a penalty from one of the previous rounds, and his rival Cherney is 4th on the grid at the moment. So he's got his work cut out if he's going to keep that lead. I know 106 points is quite a lot, but as far as I'm aware, that is something that could be turned around tonight. In other championships, though, Roy Verke, I believe, has clinched the AM Drivers' Championship. He's 706 points ahead of his teammate Rob Graham. And in the team standings, Momo have clinched it as well, I believe. They're 915 points ahead of Auto Knock Hill, who are a Pro-Am team, so they've won that championship. And Youth Energy are 2,100 points behind Momo, so I believe it's that way round as we head to the grid.
Yeah, you would hope, wouldn't you, that that he's wrapped up the championship. Sorry, that wasn't what I was thinking. You would hope that McIntyre should hold on to the championship as well with the 100 points, but it's only going to take one DNF. If he's starting from the back as well, that could blow it absolutely wide open.
Can indeed. So just quickly looking down the grid then, we've got Pete Newman on pole position, with Steve Hefford lining up 2nd, Josh Thompson 3rd, Alex Cherney, championship contender, in 4th, Pete Van Gool in 5th with Jack Regan in 6th, and Adam Broughton-Grant in 7th with Adam Hedgecock in 8th. Nick McCarron 9th, Jamie Ayres 10th, Gareth Hickling is the fastest AM driver in 11th with Kip Stevens 12th. Then you've got Carl Hardy, Dave Ayres, Benjamin Mears, Rob Graham, John Roberts, Sean Gardner, Rob Lundgren, Mick Barry, Anthony Jacobson, Ralph Cullinan, Jack McIntyre, championship leader at the moment, 23rd on the grid, with Richard Warmingham 24th, Dan Blake 25th, Adam McNally 26th. Adam must have a penalty as well, because him and Dan, and to be fair, Roy Verke, they're normally up there as well. Luke Clark is 28th with Law Murray 29th, Addy King 30th, and it doesn't seem like Jonathan Cook has taken to the grid.
We're waiting for our pole sitter to make his way to the grid as well. He's not out there yet, so at some point soon, Hefford may well end up being the man to start off with 28 seconds.
Oh, there he is.
There he is. So, crisis averted.
Yeah, he left that late, though. I think there was a few others. Jack Regan, and we were still waiting for Rob Graham to make his way to the grid as well. Down in 16th place. There he is. And the lights are beginning to come on, and revs are rising. They're hoping to rise the temperatures here at a very overcast Oulton Park, and they're away. Looks like a good launch from our 2 front row starters, although a really bad gear change there for Newman has dropped him down behind Hefford. Josh Thompson's going to come down the inside into turn 1 as well. There's a really horrible little crest on the exit of Old Hull Corner. You just don't want to bump out and go wide and clip the grass. It seems like everyone's quite tidy through there as they're side by side down into Cascades. Newman holds the inside from Thompson. Looks like everyone's got through quite cleanly. I can't see anyone really dropping down the order or anything on the timing screen. Like you said, it's going to be down to the slipstream at a track like this without the chicanes involved. So that'll take about 20 seconds out of the lap time, I imagine.
Yeah, it does look good. No issues from side by side. A bit further back, bit of a cluster around there, but everybody sort of separating out and into single file.
I think that was Luke Clark on the grass going into there. I don't know whether he caught
David
that.
is slow as well. A few people just a bit wide and offline and things like that through the hairpin.
One of the automatic cars crabbing there.
Well, Mias, yeah, slow. So, right, let's look at what they do.
Oh, they have got this chicane in. I thought it was without all the other chicanes. Oh, it's without Hislops.
Ah, there you go.
So they've got the Knickerbrook chicane, which is good. It's just they don't do Hislops like like the British GT cars do. So
strange, because even the mini-map's picking up the wrong layout. The mini-map's picked it up without the chicane.
Ah, right.
There as well. So something weird's quite gone on there. So, and I think I've always wondered with the layout. So I'll have to mention that to our developers as well. But yeah, something not quite right there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, what surprises me is the amount of layouts they have around this circuit. You know, really, it's just crazy. So
yeah.
Oh.
Versatile track. I mean, I call it my local. I'm not one for going to the pub. I'd rather go to a racetrack, and this is my local. It's about 5 miles down the road, so I'd spent a lot of weekends at Oulton Park, so I know it like the back of my hand. Steve Efford's showing that he knows it like the back of his hand at the moment. He's pulling away the lead. Oh, Newman's round behind him. Thompson gets collected.
Yeah, Thompson's going to back it up and into the wall. Manages to avoid any major damage. There's a huge gap, isn't there? Oh no, sorry, that was Newman, wasn't it? It was, but Thompson, let's say, just speared off to the right. There was a huge gap formed where they all sort. Oh, what was that? You don't go off the circuit to try and go around. Who was that?
That was Mick Barry.
Mick Barry, what are you doing? There's a racetrack there for a reason, mate. Use it, not the grass.
Fancied a bit of a.
What is this, rallycross?
I was going to say, yeah. Trying to liken it to Liddon Hill with all the oscillations, I think.
Oh dear. Oh well.
Oh well, that's a scratch one. But we've got Peter Van Gool leading this train. Jack Regan, although Steve Efford goes off in the background there. Jack Regan behind him, then Jamie Ayres, Alex Cherney, Broughton Grant, Nick McCarron, Adam Hedgecock, all these pro drivers, and then Gareth Hickling is top of the Christmas tree in Am at the moment. To go through the horrible Druids corner. It's amazing to watch, but as a driver it's such a strange corner. It's like a double apex with a crest on the exit, and it can catch out even the most experienced drivers there. Broughton Grant puts it down the inside of Cherney. Cherney's going to want to just stick his elbows out a little bit, but not too much, because at the end of the day he's trying to keep as many points as he can, but he doesn't want to get washed up into an accident. Like we said before, one DNF can switch the whole thing around.
Yeah, totally. McIntyre up 5 places to, where has he gone, to 18th. So he's moved up the order quite nicely. That's kind of what he needs to do. Just minimise the points lost through this one.
Yeah.
If he can keep it to around about sort of, 10 places every race to Cherney, then he's absolutely safe. He hasn't got to worry about too much at all. If he has a DNF, then like I say, it's going to be an absolute fight for this sort of the honours of this sort of mid-season championship, mini-season championship. Because of course we do have an overall thing going for the whole year, but there's obviously these little mini-seasons as well throughout, which is what we're on the final round of. Pete Newman off the track again. He's not having the best of times. Just about avoids the tyre wall, which normally I have to say you plunge right into if you go wide there. Warming them side by side with Robert Cullinan.
McNally's getting adrift on there, sorry. I don't know whether... he has put it in the wall.
Yeah.
And that's the end of McNally's race, unfortunately. He was doing really well as well. He was up 12 places the last time I looked at him on my timing screen. And this is the battle for second place. Just Van Gool's in there, Jamie Ayres, Jack Regan's leading the way. You've got title contender Cherney with Broughton Grant, and now Nick McCarron's in on the fight as well. These boys all filing round.
Yeah, I guess Nick is back from holiday, so back on the circuit.
Welcome back to Nick. Looks like he's doing all right out there as well. He's up 2 places already to 7th place, and when you're in the top 10, I mean, Broughton Grant gets a big slide on there.
Gonna recover, and I think he'll lose a little bit of momentum, so he might lose a single place here. I think McCarron got a chance to swing around the outside, if we can bring that back up, and doesn't quite happen.
Oh, he's got it by. He ran wide, to be fair, but
Yeah.
He didn't
Well,
lose the momentum.
you can take that, can't you? So.
Yeah, I'd say so. It's a risky one though, Oulton Park there, because that, especially that curb that they've just gone over there at Cascades as well. They are really bumpy curbs. I mean, it is. You can tell by the cars bobbing around on the straight. It's far from a flat circuit because it's such an old circuit. It is very like, oh, he is off as well. He's avoided that tire barrier that we mentioned.
Cheeky little, like, oh, I'll rejoin around here. That'll do.
Yeah, to be fair, it's probably the safer option because everyone's hugging the inside line all the way around that hairpin. It'd just be dangerous to come on, so fair play to him for being aware there.
He'll get a slowdown penalty just the same, I think, any way you come on there. So.
Cullinan's just dropped off my timing screen as well. He's just sunk like a stone there, not quite sure what's happened. There he is.
Oh, here we go. Let's see exactly what that was about then. Oh, it's contact.
Oh. Yeah, pretty hefty contact as well by the look of it.
Who was that he hit? Any idea? I think it might have been Roy Viverke, you know. One of the cleanest drivers out there, getting his elbows out in the final round of the season. In fairness, he gave him a lot of room. It wasn't Viverke.
I was going to say, to be fair, he came through afterwards and saw him.
Yeah, it must have been one of his teammates or something then.
Interesting thing to note as well, Jack McIntyre has got damage on his car and has only gained 1 place now, so something must have happened to him as well. Nick McCarron is off track and going down the order. Broughton Grant's off track, Josh Thompson's off track. I've got multiple little sort of warnings coming up. It was Warmingham. It looked like Warmingham lost it.
Yeah. Took me a while to find the find the culprit, but yeah, we're there in the end.
It looked like Van Gool and sorry, I think it was Van Gool and McCarron were off as well. McCarron and Broughton Grant have both gone down a good few places each.
McCarron one here. This could be it, actually. Well, no, McCarron's on his own. You can see there's a little battle going on behind. So what goes on with Nick?
It looks like he was just getting back up to pace there, so it might have been something at the last corner, to be fair.
Yeah. Let's see if I have got another couple of off tracks as well. Oh, well, there you go. There's him in the wall. So I think that this is what we need to see a bit more of. If I can just get the replay to work. Oh, well, there's the aftermath of it. What's going on?
He's behind a tree, loving life.
Gee, so many people went past him. That's the thing. You look in the event viewer and you think, no, surely not. It can't be all that. Can't scroll up all the way to here. But they're about to see it. Little nudge from behind, and spins them around. There's nothing you can do when you just get a little nudge going into the corner like that. The balance is already on the front of the car, so the rear just comes around so easily.
I think Broughton Grant as well actually slowed down out of sportsmanship to try and sort of give him a place back, but then when he realised that he was properly around, he just sort of carried on, but slowly. As we look back at this gap for a second here, sorry, battle for a second, not gap. Cherney's really starting to get involved now. He's having a go at Jamie Ayres. He's all over the back of him. Jack Regan tries to hold the pair of them off. 3 really good races in this MX5. We've seen good fights from all 3 of these all season.
Well, it's important for Cherney to get as many places as he possibly can. That's the thing. Where is McIntyre? He's holding around 22nd, so he's actually dropped down the order, so he must have had some sort of issues.
Yeah, he had quite a bit of damage before when he came up on screen.
Yes. Yeah, so 22nd, but still mitigating the points lost. But so Cherney will want these few places. It's going to be a whole bunch. There's going to be sort of 20 or 30 points, you know, and that's going to put a little bit of pressure on. He can gain that all 4 races. It's going to be close come the end of the meeting.
Yeah, definitely. He's going to it's one of them. Just don't give up no matter what, no matter if the numbers seem stacked against you. As we see Ayres getting alongside Regan now. They go over Hilltop. Side by side, completely level there. Cherney's just...
I thought about it.
Yeah, I think he's trying to scare him a little bit there. Ayres late on the brakes though. Does well to keep out that tyre barrier. And Cherney goes through into Knickerbrook.
Yep, that'll work. Maybe just that 3, you know, sticking the nose in there to pretend the 3 wide situation did enough to distract. And yeah, poor braking from Ayres, missed his point and ran just a bit wide.
Now the thing that Cherney doesn't want now is for Ayres to pressure him so much that they battle, because they'll lose Regan then, and Regan will be gone. So he needs to really make sure that he just gets on with it, tries to not ignore Ayres, but, you know, just, well, Yeah, I'd say ignore him. Sod him. Just leave him there. Just try and go. Try and drive away. Gareth Hickling as well, by the way, highest AM driver. He's actually just behind this battle in 5th place. He's gained 6 spots, so's Kip Stevens. Carl Hardy's gained 5 spots as well. Really close to the back of him there as they go down to Cascades. It's a scary little corner, is Cascades, because it is very quick. And even though it is on camber, it gives you this sort of false sense that you've got more grip than you have. And then when you come on the exit and it levels out, it really does sort of try and bite you.
Indeed, but it is a lovely corner though when you absolutely nail the apex through there, you know, and you can get on the gas, pick it up nice and early. There's quite a feeling of achievement, you know, when you
oh yeah,
you wing it round there and on the absolute edge. It doesn't matter what car you're in, you know, they're all the same. When you're on the limit, you're on the limit, kind of.
Yeah, it's a fantastic track to drive, Oulton Park. There's a lot of fast corners, a lot of slow corners, and it's very oscillating, as we can see. And it's a real challenge because there are so many little bumps and little rises and on camber corners, off camber corners. Knickerbrook especially, that they're just going through there, feels horrible no matter what you're in because it doesn't look like a tight corner, but you find yourself putting more and more lock on as you go around it, and it just feels like it understeers wide. It's like there's a magnet on that fence.
Kip looking quite racy here though. He wants to get a move done. Put himself into the top 5.
Cherney's ahead of Regan, by the way, as well. Just saw them in the background and thought I was going to say Jamie Ayres is trying to make a move on Cherney, but Cherney's actually ahead of Regan now.
See if I can get that replay for the move up on screen. See exactly how he did it. And here we go.
Interesting, he's gone for the left-hand side here, actually, because he's going to try and get the inside for the left-hander part of the chicane, and he's ahead before the braking zone. Fair play.
Yeah, very good. I think Jack really perhaps knew it wasn't worth fighting through there. Oh, major sideways out there. So you see the opposite lock on that car right there. So
fantastic.
Well saved from Regan. He managed to hold on to the position as well. He come under a bit of pressure from Ayres. Big moment. Does he? Oh, they're side by side. I need to stop the focus on Journey. That move's been and gone, but yeah, no, Regan holds on to it. That was impressive.
Yeah, he may have lost a place, but he's got style points. But here we go again. It's deja vu, but the other way around now. See what he can do with this one. Has he learnt his lesson? Is he going to go out? I'm going to be on the brakes later than you, son. As it turned in, he's got it done. Fair play. Really good manoeuvre. He pulls it off. He's going to get the slide on again. No, he's more tame this time round. Great stuff for him for getting it done again, though.
Nice little circuit, I feel like, for these cars as well. Just enough, they get just enough draft to get the move done. A lot of cars are just too fast, and there's no room to get the slipstream at all before you get to the chicane there. So, it's, yeah, good call.
Oh, I'd always try and get Oulton Park on a calendar. I mean, I'm obviously biased, but I absolutely love the place. To be fair, it was one of the selling points for me to get into iRacing, is the fact that Oulton Park was on it, and to know it was done so accurately is just incredible.
Well, we are on to the final lap now, lap 9, and 14.5 minutes basically gone. Steve Hefford is way out front, 6 seconds clear. We've got this battle going on for second. Don't really think we can leave, but there's a good little pack sort of here as well, which Kip Stevens has got to the front of now. He did get by Gareth Hickling, but yeah, like I say, let's stay with this battle for second, because I don't think it's over. I mean, Ayres has got past Cherney as well, so all of a sudden, what looked like a solid second place for Alex has slipped away.
Yeah, Regan's just controlling it at the moment. We've seen that he's really level-headed in terms of his driving. He doesn't let much steal his focus. Saw it last week at Virginia. He took a win in, I believe it was race 1 actually that he won. Sorry if my voice went there, I just noticed my internet had a bit of a spike.
No, absolutely fine.
Good stuff, that's what we want.
Let's close up down the straight, does Ayres, but it's just not enough to get a move done. And very tricky, I think, in the last couple of sectors. Oh dear!
Regan is showing us the back end of that MX5 stepping out tonight. Ayres just needs to get a really good run now for Druids. He's going to be on the outside, but he might even... Yeah, he's got it done before Druids. That slide has cost Regan Deere. Now Cherney wants to be patient, wait for the run out of Druid's corner, see whether these boys do anything in front of him. Just let it go wide a little bit on the exit, just carry the momentum. Who's going to go for who here?
Sorry,
Steve Hefford.
Gotta show Hefford. Right, he's coming across the line to win. Steve Hefford, congratulations from my friend. Here we go.
Well done, Steve. Brilliant result. And here's Cherney. He's going to try and get an overlap on the left, but it's not going to happen. Jamie Ayres takes second place, Regan third, and Cherney fourth. That was very entertaining, lads. Fantastic racing.
Oh, and this is pretty close as well, I have to say. Back about.
Hedgecock just beating Thompson there across the line. Stevens comes home in fifth with Hickling sixth as well. Lorne Murray trying to get the overlap. Who's that on? That's number 14.
McCarran.
Nick McCarran. Nearly got there as Warmingham comes across the line behind them.
Well, that's very close behind as well. Blake, Borton, Grant and Clark. Clark, who seems to always break our overlay with a name. I'm not really sure why. There we go, look. It's always got undefined on there. I just keep deleting different things and sort of swapping it around, but every time it just throws a little wobbly.
Roy Verke is one of them that's up there in the championship as well tonight. He comes across the line in 19th place. I'm not quite sure whether he started a bit further down than that. He's actually third in the championship currently and the highest AM. I believe he's already AM champion for the Spring Series, so well done to Roy for securing that.
Yeah, good job. I think probably everyone. That was McIntyre coming across in 23rd.
Yeah, he's not going to be very happy with that one. That was...
Yeah, it's got a lot of damage, but it finished. That was the important thing, you know. The DNF would have been so much worse.
Yeah, definitely. Well, he got, to be fair, he finished where he started on that one. Didn't gain any places, didn't lose any. Unfortunately, pole setter Pete Newman ended up down in 21st place as well. Great little car and track combo as always, though. These cars show you what a good circuit looks like, I imagine, because, like I've said a few times since I've started broadcasting on this, it's the sort of car that you don't go, oh, let's watch the MX-5s. It's not like, you know, it's compare it to something like a GT3 car or like a LMP1 car. No one's going to really choose this over that, if to be honest, unless you're passionate about them. I don't know, but they always provide good racing on these smaller, sort of windier circuits. So it's nice that there's that variety amongst the iRacing crowd.
It reminds me much like, say, if we had like a Ginetta Junior or something like that, you know, that kind of racing. Yeah,
definitely. It's like a sort of support car championship thing. Like if you had, I mean, I know that the BSR did the Porsches and the touring cars on the same night a while ago. I mean, these would be a great support act to that, but most of the guys in this racing BSR TC as well, so I imagine it'd be a bit painful for some of the drivers to do, but yeah, it's a nice little format.
Yeah, I think that was why the Porsche struggled a little bit, actually, wasn't it? It was because the people driving it wanted, you know, the bulk of the sort of member base of BSR was doing the TC.
Yeah,
sorry about that. Just shut the Facebook chat up so we don't get bombarded with messages. Right, the results are up and on the screen when you're ready, Jess.
Okay, so Steve Hefford takes the very classy win from second on the grid with a 7.1 second gap over Jamie Ayres, Jack Regan and Alex Cherney, who put on a fantastic fight for us. Kip Stevens made up 7 places to finish 5th, a great result for him. Gareth Hickling was the highest AM driver in 6th, with Adam Hedgecock and Josh Thompson very close across the line in 7th and 8th. Carl Hardy finished 9th with Peter Van Gool in 10th, Nick McCarran in 11th, and Lorne Murray up 17 places to 12th. That's a great drive by Lorne, that is. He's the biggest mover of the race. Richard Warmingham in 13th with Dan Blake in 14th. He also went up, both of them went up 11 places. Broughton Grant had issues and dropped 8 places to 15th. Luke Clark got 12 places up and went to 16th. John Roberts finished where he started in 17th, and David Ayres was 18th, with Roy Verke up 8 places to 19th. Sean Gardner finished 20th, with Pete Newman, our pole setter, down in 21st. Anthony Jacobson was 22nd, and Jack McIntyre was 23rd. And then the cars laps down from there. Addy King was 4 laps down, with Ralph Cullinan 5 laps down. Adam McNally 6 laps down, Robert Lundgren 7. Mick Barry, Rob Graham and Benjamin Mears 7 and 8 laps down respectively. And Jonathan Cook, as we said earlier, did not take the start. Not quite sure what those 2 cars were doing on screen that I saw go past there, but I didn't quite catch that.
Yeah, certainly seem to be pushing, weren't they? So just getting across the line. So of course we lost Rob Lundgren, and he did say in the chat actually he got tied up an issue with McIntyre, I think. That's kind of where McIntyre got the damage and Rob got his race ended as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sort of calling it anyone's fault or anything like that. I just think it was just one of those early race incidents where there's a lot of tussling and people get sort of pushed into places that they can't really avoid by the looks of it. I think that's what Rob's saying there.
There's not many places to hide at Oulton Park. It's a very thin track with a lot of unforgiving grassy runoffs, so it's a bit of a tough one for that. You've really got to nail it around here, and when you're battling, you've got to be very careful.
Right, I do believe it is time for the reverse grid wheel, and for some known reason it's not coming up, so give me just a second.
No probs. Anything over 23rd, to be fair, is going to be a full anyway, because Addy King was 4 laps down. So it would be Jack McIntyre if it's sort of 23. But if we get a minus or anything, then Jack's probably going to be kicking himself a little bit.
Right, there we go. Right. The wheel to expand out. Right, here we go. Let's give it a spin and see who is going to be on top. Well, I think it's going to be a massive one. No matter what it is, where they finish in a couple of areas. 50th it is going to be, so it is going to be as large as we possibly get.
That is going to be Jack McIntyre on pole position then. So his wishes have been granted. He's got pole for the second race with Anthony Jacobson second. Pete Newman's got a chance for redemption starting third. And Sean Gardner fourth. And Roy Viverke also in fifth. He's up there in the championship too. So they'll be very grateful for that spin.
Yeah, wow. Just, how quickly fortunes can turn. So he lost himself a good sort of 35 points in that one. And, yeah, well, he might gain them all back in the next one.
Yeah, we'll have to see what Cherney can do now. He's going to have to put the work in, isn't he?
Totally. Right, well, we'll be back in just a few minutes. Sorry to push us over to the adverts all of a sudden there, Chaz, but the guys will get the session up and going in, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. There's 5-10 minutes worth of warm-up as well, and then we'll be back. So check back in with us in 20 minutes' time. We'll be ready for race number 2 of the night.
this year of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMerrick at the line. chair of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMary at the line.
Welcome back to a much sunnier Oulton Park on Apex Racing TV for the BSR MX5 Spring Series. I'm Chaz Draycott alongside Alex Simpson. We saw a very exciting race 1, and hopefully, Alex, we're going to be looking at just as an exciting race 2.
Yeah, I think so. We need to make a correction. Jack McIntyre, while he is on the pole position, he has got a grid lane start for this race as well. So, yeah, apparently fortunes aren't suddenly switched in reverse. So he's going to have to fight his way back through again. Let's hope that he has a much cleaner race this time. But yeah, so it'll probably be Anthony Jacobson on the opposite side of the front row. That will be the new pole position. Pete Newman, Sean Gardner, then Roy Viverke, David Ayres, John Roberts, Luke Clark, Adam Broughton-Grant, Dan Blake, Richard Warmingham, and Lorne Murray. Your sort of front 5 rows even. Oh, what I was trying to say there.
It's one of those. Happens to the best of us. We've got a nice automatic car right in front of us there, and we're ready to go. Green lights are on. Newman's got the second chance tonight to get started from effectively the front row of the grid. He's alongside Sean Gardner right now into turn 1. Sean's going to have the inside. It's a great start away from Anthony Jacobson. He's just run away from it seems. Newman's got a good run. We've got a few cars off on the grass there. Broughton, Grant, John Roberts, Kip Stevens as well.
I think someone was in the wall as well, right at the very, very back. Couldn't quite make it out from the distance. We've certainly got some cars off this time as well.
Thompson.
I think Thompson, yeah, again.
Newman's in the lead, by the way. Newman's just soared straight past Jacobson. That's
no.
Gardner, and who is that that's Dan Blake in the Fury Simsport car. Manages to collect it and go back on. There's one of the result clothing cars going off there as well. Managed to save it. Sean's just playing it safe and waiting for the field to go through.
Yeah, a little too safe, I feel. Come on.
Yeah.
Get back on.
His teammate John Roberts is up to 3rd place, though. He's gained 4 places on this first lap, and so is Luke Clark behind him as well. So he's hoping to continue that charge forward as he chases down Roy Viverke. Really big gaggle of cars. Kip Stevens there making contact with, that was number 40, Gareth Hickling. He cut to that right at the right moment as, around it goes. I can't remember his name. That's really bad. Yeah, it's Reagan. So many of the boosted cars, I think I remember them, but then I don't.
Jacobson's had a slow down penalty as well. This is not what he wants at all.
Definitely not.
But yeah, easily done on the first lap, and but cost him big time.
Yeah, it has indeed. Jacobson's had a bit of a nightmare first lap, it seems. He's dropped down 10 places, now he's down in 12th. Pete Van Gool up 8 places in 1 lap up to 6th place. Great start for him as we look at Roberts chasing down Viverke across the line. Pete Newman just in front of them.
I want to get a quick recap of the start, if that's okay. I want to see what happens to the likes of Thompson, because I get the feeling this is where the sort of the big incident was. All the pack sort of scattered apart. Let's take a quick look. Got a good start, didn't he? Raced up the inside. I think that's Hedgecock around the outside, got a much better run, and Josh Jinkin to the right. Or was it? There was a crash in front of them. No, it wasn't.
He's not just nothing he can do there.
No,
absolutely nothing he can do.
That was just a case of 2 into 1 doesn't go, and actually it just caused a couple other cars just to sort of scatter a little bit, but not as bad as I thought it was. Yeah. Side by side there as well. That is Adam Broughton-Grant and Peter Van Gool.
So it just seems like my timing's messed up a little bit here with the when we went back to the replay. It's just sort of jumped around a bit and just waiting for it to settle. Like, Jacobson was down the order even further as well before. Roy Viverke flying down the timing screen. I can't see it yet, unfortunately, mate, but I'm getting back there. There he is. Okay, I'm back with you now. That's at Druids. Gutting for Roy Viverke. He's so high up in the championship as well. There was actually a change for the AM Championship as well in terms of 2nd place. Luke Clark has now overtaken Rob Graham in that one. But Roy's definitely got it wrapped up, so he's not got much to worry about, but he'll want to end this on a high, as there's a couple of cars going off at turn 1, it seems. They might have been running wide. David Ayres and Gareth Hickling going down the order, apparently.
Oh, wow, someone running extremely wide. Yeah, I think that was Hickling recovering there as well.
Yeah. Oh, big wobble on there through Cascades. Who was that? That was Carl Hardy. He's doing a bit of grass tracking. It's dead bumpy out there. One of the Automet cars is off with him. Another one of the Automet cars as well. A couple of people going there grass tracking there. Oh, that's Van Gool. Van Gool straight on at the island hairpin. And he's into Laurie. He did try and get it stopped though. He was turning right way before the hairpin. Lawn just the innocent victim there. You've got Thompson and Hardy side by side there, catching up to Van Gool quite quickly. This might get interesting. Keep your eye on this. You've got Lundgren in front of them. Van Gool's just up to speed now. I reckon he might lose this place to Lundgren still, but he might just slide him behind. There we go. Thompson down the inside of Hardy. Oh, there's a car off, and Josh very sideways there.
Oh dear. So we jumped through the scene. And
Energy boys, and someone was pulling off to the side there as well.
Yeah, I think that might have been Kip off to the side, dropping down the order. See if we can get a better camera shot, see what's going on with him. Yeah, he's in a right old state. So
very, very broken MX5. You can see him turning right to keep it, well, not even straight at that point.
Let's see. He's already lost a bit of momentum there, didn't he? He turned in, and then I think he was just faced with
yeah,
Brian's car right in front of him, massive damage, and just pulls it straight across off to the side.
I think it was Cullinan and McNally that originally made contact, and then more of the Youth Energy boys just managed to get caught up in it. Here's our new second place at the moment in the AM Championship. Luke Clark putting pressure on John Roberts. He's looked really racy tonight, Luke Clark has. He did really well in race 1. And he's carrying that form on in this one as well as they come up to the Shell Oil's hairpin.
Luke, I believe, is very underrated driver.
Oh, well. No, that's because of the commentator. John keeps it going though. More contact.
Well done, John. It's not over with yet. Oh, come on, guys.
Come on. Nice.
I mean, just get out of it. What is going on there? Come on, give your... That's rubbish.
Yeah, that's frustrating to watch that.
It's frustrating after what I just said as well, because honestly, I do believe Luke is a very good driver and he's very quick as well, but honestly, that was just poo. Yeah, absolute. You know, just get out of the throttle and let him get a little bit of space to go, you know?
Yeah.
There's no need for that.
As his contact was the original one that put him wide as well, or put him off the track, but anyway, here comes Dan Blake.
Yeah, come on, Dad, have him. No shame anymore.
Down the inside. Dan using this as well. I don't know what I want to say about that really. There's Dan dispatching of Luke Clark. He did
actually lost the place to not quiet Hefford trying to get by. This has been a great drive from Hefford. Well, where the hell did Hefford come from? 19 places so far on this one as well.
I was speaking to Dan earlier tonight about the upcoming race. He was saying that he'd had a penalty for something and he was a bit infuriated. And he was saying he was going to stick his elbows out, and he wasn't joking there. Nice little up in shoulder as Luke nearly makes contact with someone else there in the background. I think it was David Ayres. Hefford, like you say though, it's just appeared, hasn't he? He's just sort of appeared before us, and here we go. See if the slipstream works for him down here to the hairpin. Seems to be doing, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's still quite short, and it's risky, isn't it, to take that tight line through there, because you can so easy drift out wide and into the tyre wall that's lurking and waiting just there.
He's just going to be patient here, I think, and just get the run down to the Knickerbrook chicane.
Oh, there's something going on with Lorne Murray, isn't it? He's dropping absolutely down the order. We'll try and pick that one up in a minute. Let's just watch this, see if he can get this move completed here.
Brian Holmes up 20 places, by the way, to 11th.
None too shabby, considering he had that massive sideways moment as well and was getting punted. So, still side by side. Hefford not quite past Blake. Doesn't want to give this up at all. We know how competitive both these drivers are.
Look at Luke Clark, absolutely red mist descending, going for it, bouncing over the curbs, but That was great racing with Dan and Steve there, as Luke Clark's actually got his nose in here. I didn't realise he was that close to him, but as they go into Druids, oh, that's really close racing. That was great by Steve and Dan. That was that sort of restored my faith in humanity a little bit as Luke gets alongside Dan coming into Lodge Corner. He's got the inside line, bounces wide a little bit, but I think Dan's wary of it. Jamie Ayres is going to be the opportunistic man there through the middle, but the gap's closed. He's going to go out onto the left. Surely you can't go 3 wide into turn 1, boys. I don't think Luke's got the overlap, actually. Well, he might do on the brakes now.
No, Dan just reached across very, very wide as well for Hereford. Right, while that's going on, let's see what happened to Lorne Murray on this replay as well, because he did drop like a stone. Who was that on the outside? Is that Thompson on the outside? But it's actually the Blue Flag racing car that gets him and just puts him into the wall. And nothing Murray can do. He's just going to sit there and wait for all that traffic to come past. That's the worst feeling in the world.
We just saw Sean Gardner going past him on shot there as well. I think Sean was probably thinking, well, that happened to me on lap 1, so deal with it. That's a nice shot, I must say.
Yeah, interesting little shot as they come from out of there. And you can obviously see the normal chicane section that...
Yeah, that's where I normally stand, actually, when we go and watch it. You don't see much of the track, but the bit you do see when they're going flying past up to the hairpin and then down to the chicane is always quite interesting, as we see Jamie Ayres down the inside of Luke Clark. Gets the job done.
Regan and Cherney side by side as well. They continue their little battle from the first race. Cars are both looking in a little bit worse for wear, aren't they?
Yeah, well, and I'll track this thin, cars like this that bounce around on little bumps and rises that you get, it's hardly surprising, but you know what these boys are like. They like to have a bit of a bump and bang now and again, don't they? Now, I imagine it was probably due to the incident before as well, coming out of the chicane.
Definitely. We haven't really spoke too much about the front runner, Pete Newman. I mean, it didn't go to plan, did it, the last race, but gone much better this one. And he's 5.3 seconds clear now, so pretty decent run out there. Broughton Grant's about similar sort of time clear of Hefford as well behind. So I think these two, I don't want to curse them too much, but you know, unless they make a mistake, they should be in relatively good position for first and second here. Brian Holmes just put the fastest lap of the racing as well, 1:46.7.
Yeah, I don't think anyone else on the entire list has actually gone into the 46s, so it's a really quick lap by Brian then. He's definitely on it. He's got a bit of clean air either side, though. He's got Josh Thompson a second and a half ahead of him, and then Cherney about a second and a half behind, so he's using that clean air to get the job done. I mean, I know that Josh is very quick. We say this every time we see him, and he's going to be making waves forwards, so Brian's probably going to be sticking onto the back of him and thinking, yeah, I'm just going to take these places with you. Next target's David Ayres, 1.2 seconds ahead of Josh.
Yeah, and looking at the lap times, there should be to him at the end of this lap almost, I would think. Oh, Clark coming under from a bit of pressure as well. That's McCarran poking his nose out. Couldn't quite get anything done that time, just a bit too far back. I guess much better exit. Well, it just takes quite a tight sort of exit off of Nickelbrook there and compromised his run somewhat.
Yeah, it didn't seem like the curb ever came into shot there. It's just sort of, I was expecting it to go bouncing over the curbs a little bit, but he was quite tame. But still sticking with Luke Clark though. He's just playing it safe, I think, is Nick. He's done a good job tonight so far. We saw him do all right in race 1. That's one of the other Momo cars diving around in front. It's Jamie Ayres.
Yeah, up 6 places so far for Nick. So yeah, a reasonable return for a second race. Regan dropping down the order, and that looks like that could be pretty severe damage. So let's see exactly how that happened. Could be costly for Cherney if it's some kind of issue with him. You know, if there's a protest that might be involved.
Yeah, you're right there. I'd say pit that car. Seems to be driving it on.
I think he's going to be. I think this is going to be a self-spin actually.
Yeah, it's one of the old park. Oh, he's clipped the grass. It's gone over on the bump.
Oh dear. Have it.
Yeah, that buried that one. One of the commentators at Oulton Park that used to be there used to call that a self-crash. Back in his day, he said there was a lot of people used to be doing quite a lot of self-crashing and grass tracking around here. do get some right speed up over that crest, to be fair. And Steve is still under pressure here from Dan Blake. Dan's doing a really good job here of chasing him down, and I'm sure he'll be really happy with his pace in this car, seeing as he does drive it in real life. So it'll be a nice confidence builder as Steve Efford gets a fishtail on, and that's put pay to that.
Yeah, well, that should be a podium then, possibly for Blake. So, yeah, good amount of pressure from Blake in the Fury Sim Sport car. Don't worry, Dan, I'm not going to call it furry this time, but I do prefer that name.
He's not furry Dan this week. He's well, he's got you could say he's got his ankles up, and he's absolutely on it this week.
So Cherney and who is this? Ayres, very close.
It is David Ayres, yes.
The inside then into the final corner. Not always easy to get a run down and into that corner, but yeah, successful there for Alex. We're on white flag then, so where is our leader? So just heading down the into the little kink left before the hairpin.
Yeah, he's done great tonight, Pete. It was a shame to see what happened to him in race 1, but he's had his chance to make up for it, and he's certainly doing that so far. I'm sure he'll be happy with it. We always see that he's quick in World GT and in BSR TC as well, so it's nice to see his name still up there in the iRacing scene. I'll give a shout to Broughton Grant as well. He's just been the silent assassin in this one. He's gained 7 places. He's still in 2nd place. He's actually brought the gap down on Pete Newman now. It's actually 4.5 seconds. It was 5.3, I think, last time we mentioned it. So
I think you're right.
He's brought the gap down a bit. Maybe Pete's just taking it easy. Well, yeah, he looks like he's weaving left and right a little bit, even up the hill. So he's on a bit of a Sunday drive right now, I think Pete is, but he'll be beaming in there. Jamie Ayres as well, by the way, up 18 places. Brian Holmes up 23. So those boys have definitely been putting the work in tonight.
Yeah, having a little weave around, and he enjoying this one.
Yeah,
comfortably in the lead. Yeah, deserves victory in this one. Here he comes in across the line. Fantastic win for Pete Newman. Faultless performance. Nothing more can be said about that one. Good result from Broughton Grant as well. 7 places gained too.
Yeah, it was a good result for those boys. Dan Blake bringing it home in 3rd, only just from Jamie Ayres though. Really good fight across the line there. Luke Clark managed to hold off Nick McCarron with the pressure there, and then Thompson and Holmes coming behind them. It's Max Wright getting a run on one of the Automat cars. That's for Verke. Doesn't quite get there. Oh, here we go. Here's Cullinan and is it Hickling? And then it's Roberts. And
yeah, hardly Hickling. Yeah, Graham and Roberts. So good little battle that one. That was Warmingham and Jacobson. They were pretty close as well. They come across, and the final sort of little battle that's going on out there is between Mears and Murray. Obviously, Murray unfortunately got turned, didn't he, and pushed her all the way down to the back.
There's MX5. They're looking a little bit second hand.
I think that is about everyone, isn't it?
I believe so. I know Andy King came across the line a few laps down.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, we would be waiting for Regan to finish, but I don't think he is. So, fortunately, we just got to wait for the timing counter to tick down before we can retrieve the final race results.
Another good, exciting one, though. Plenty of battling. A few silly incidents, as we saw. I mean, it's frustrating to watch when that happens sometimes, especially when you just said that the guy that's done it is a really good, clean racer as well. But it's it was another good one, that. But Pete Newman definitely showed his worth in that one. Just got the lead and drove away with it, didn't he?
He did, yeah, completely. Got a great start, and yeah, like you say, just gapped it and went from there. So, but yeah, good racing all round. See if we can have a good clean start for race 3. I think that's going to be important. A couple of little scrappy starts really that sort of separated the pack apart. We can keep it close together and make a difference. Right, retrieve the positions, and here we go. We have the race results for you now.
So Pete Newman, as we just said, takes an absolutely flawless victory in that one. From third on the grid, Adam Broughton-Grant puts in 7 places to finish in second. Dan Blake completes the podium after a really good fight towards the end of the race there. Jamie Ayres is fourth, with Luke Clark, the highest placed AM driver, in fifth. Nick McHerron, another good result, in sixth, with Josh Thompson seventh. And Brian Holmes, biggest mover of the race, 23 places gained to 8th place, with Alex Cherney in 9th, David Ayres 10th, Steve Hefford 11th, with Adam McNally 12th. Roy Ververke 13th, Max Wright 14th. Jack McIntyre actually lost. Oh no, he didn't lose places because he started from the pits, but he came home in 15th place, so a good result for Jack there in the championship. Carl Hardy was 16th with Gareth Eckling 17th, Ralph Cullen 18th, and Rob Graham 19th with John Robertson 20th. Those guys were quite close across the line as well. You've got Warmingham 21st, Jacobson 22nd from pole, 23rd was Sean Gardner, 24th was Mick Barry, and then 25th, Law Murray, and 26th, Benjamin Mears. Lundgren came home in 27th with Jack Regan, a lap down in 28th. Addy King, 4 laps down in 29th. Then Peter Van Gool, 4 laps down. Kip Stevens, 5 laps down. And Adam Hedgecock at the very bottom in 32nd, 7 laps down.
Yeah, another good race. Right, let's jump straight to the wheel, I think, and see who's going to be the pole sitter this time. Fairly sizable one last time, 50th, of course, way beyond what we've got on the actual grid. So let's see who is going to get it this time. Could be a smaller one, could be looking at 15th. Will it get there though? It might stay on 40th, and I think it is exactly that. Stays at 40th, so another basic all reverse grid.
Well, if that would have been 15th, that would have been Jack McIntyre. So he's going to be absolutely kicking himself for that one now. Well, it's not his fault, bless him. So it's cars that were not a lap down then. So it'd be Robert Lundgren on pole position with Benjamin Mears second, Lorne Murray third, and Michael Barry fourth. Sean Gardner's got another chance to redeem himself for that first lap incident last time in fifth, and Jacobson will be sixth.
Awesome stuff. Right, well, we'll be back in about 20 minutes' time for race number 3 of the night. Stay here, Apex Racing TV.
here of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Would it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMary at the line. chair of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMerrick up the line.
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV and Oulton Park for the BSR MX5 Spring Series. We're into race 3 of the evening in this lovely late afternoon setting that we've got going on at the moment. And the championship standings have been updated for us since race 2. The gap is now Alex Cherney behind Jack McIntyre by 77 points, so it's all still to fight for. Obviously Charles Draycott alongside Alex Simpson. Alex, what do you reckon we've got for race 3 then? How's this going to pan out?
Well, I think we're going to have much of the same for the second race. There can be a little bit of a little bit of elbows out, racing out there, and a few incidents here and there. But actually, for the most part, it was very, very good. and yeah, enjoyable to watch. Hopefully we don't have that separation from the leaders in the like we did in the second race, so we have good battle for the actual win rather than just the podium positions. But we'll have to yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one, I think. Yeah, looking forward to it. I think 2 really big reverses, so I'm kind of hoping for a smaller one at the end of this race as well, just to see how that does as well. But yeah, McIntyre actually kind of got a bit lucky in that race, even though he had the reverse grid. Obviously, Cheney had his problems and dropped all the way to the back as well, so they both worked forwards together, and he was able to actually gain some points back on what he'd lost in the previous race. So yes, it's not over and done with yet for this little mini season. He still needs to make sure he finishes both races. Cheney definitely in the range to jump him if a DNF comes into play.
Yeah, it's always exciting these last meetings when you get to the end of a championship, trying to figure out the points and everything. I mean, with these sorts of series, we've obviously got larger scoring systems, and so it's not like Formula 1 used to be, where it was just the top 6 get points. But it certainly makes life interesting, not really knowing exactly points-wise who's won what until right at the end. So it's got its good points and its bad points, I'd say.
We've just got a few minutes to go, I think, until they advance the session, and then we will get underway here. But can't show you the grid until the session advances, unfortunately.
Just add over the voice chat on iRacing. Well, they're going to advance it any second now. They just had the confirmation of that, so give it sort of 10 seconds. There we go. It's just been done. Shortest 10 seconds you'll ever witness, that is. We should have a grid.
Indeed we do. Here we go then. So pole position, Jack Regan from Boosted. He's on pole position alongside his teammate Robert Lundgren. Benjamin Mears is in third, and it's Lorne Murray. Just looking at the rest of the grid, no real surprising names up there. We've got Mick Barry, Sean Gardner. Last day you said at the end of the last race, let's hope he has a better run this time. Anthony Jacobson, Warmingham, John Roberts back towards the front, Rob Graham, Rafe Cullinan, and Gareth Hicklin round out your top 12.
In terms of the championship contenders as well, we've got McIntyre 14th, but Cherney's down in 20th, so there's only 6 places between them, so it's going to be interesting to see how Cherney does, but between them there are quick drivers, and we've got Dave Ayres, Steve Hefford, McNally, Viverke, and Max Wright as well, who's definitely one for defending his positions, so it's not going to be easy for Cherney to make up them places as the red lights come on. Seems like there's a few cars missing from the grid as well, so they're away. The 2 boosted cars off the front row. Lundgren doesn't get as good a start as Benjamin Mears, it seems, and Lorne Murray's going to look down the inside as well. He's going to get really defended here as Lundgren takes the tighter line. It compromises his run. Murray's going to have it. Bit of argy-bargy. Seems clean in the background. So many red cars in this series. I still can't get over it. Lundgren, just turns in a little bit there. One of the result clothing cars runs wide. Roberts just about gets caught.
Oh, no. Come
on. There we go. It's Mick Barry. Has gone around. 2 of the Youth Energy cars going up the hill off into a different part of Cheshire. Yeah, I think that was just, like I said in race 1, if you run wide out of Cascades, there is a really bumpy bit of grass there, and it can unsettle these cars a lot. We've got Brian Holmes off the track. It's obviously saying Gareth.
Look where Hicklin ended up. Gee.
I bet he kept his foot in and went over the jump. I think I know quite a lot of people that have done that before and managed to go over hilltop into the onto the grass. But we've got Mears up into second, then Lorne Murray in third, with Lundgren fourth, Warmingham fifth, Graham sixth, and Roberts seventh. That train is just never ending, so I think I'd run out of breath before I got all those names in. As I hear contacting Nick Brook. Doesn't seem like it was a quarter panel or anything, just probably someone running into the back of someone else. As McIntyre, you can see on his car though, he's got quite a bit of damage. So I think he might have run into the back of Cullinan, maybe not expecting him to brake early or anything. That's a nice shot through Druids there.
Yeah, you can see the damage on the front right, can't you, of McIntyre's car. Importantly, though, he's ahead of Cherney, although Cherney just moved up a spot. He's having a good little fight with Max right now. And, yeah, clears him through there, although Max trying to fight back and Cherney having to defend the inside. Good opening lap from our leader as well, Jack Regan. He's starting to pull away, I have to say. This is what we want to avoid. Oh! That was Jamie Ayres on Max right as well. Just having a little bit of, yeah, get on out there, you. I'm coming through.
Yeah, it was a bit of shoulder. Oh no, Max has gone into him. He's he's repaid the favour there at Cascades. I'm not quite sure whether that was on or not, or whether it was just a genuine mistake. But yeah, unfortunately, Max, that's on YouTube forever now, mate. As we've got a great little overlap there by Warmingham on Lundgren. Is Lundgren going to give him the space? It's a very tight corner. It's a tight track, really, isn't it? There's Ayres on, not Ayres. Sorry, that's McIntyre on Cullinan in the background. They're all just going to be trying to slipstream each other now down this long straight. And who's that auto? Oh, I was going to say who's the Automet car going to give the slipstreams to, but seems like McIntyre's ahead. Cullinan may try it on the brakes. You never know.
This one looks pretty tasty as well. Two very quick drivers in Hefford and Cherney side by side, and Hefford comes out on top. And I think we've got a problem for Roberts.
Oh, yeah, that's Ayres, Roberts, and there was another car just pulling off as well. Saw Roberts had trouble before this as well as Hefford, actually. Nicely done by Steve Hefford there, to be fair to him.
Got it done, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Definitely got that.
That's how you do a move. So yeah, let's just stay with Roberts, because I think he's obviously got the slowdown penalty, which has cost him to have a pretty poor run here, and a lot of people are going to get that sort of shoot on him down this straight. He's still trying to serve it, actually, isn't he? You can tell right over to the inside, and they're fighting behind, and I think he's going to be the instant victim here. They're just going to pile into him.
It's Ayres and Blake.
Oh no, I'll take it back.
Yeah, I'd say
not the innocent victim at all. So
it was Dan Blake on the grass, unfortunately having to cut the chicane.
You can't obviously go into the corner though completely along the white line and expect to get the car turned. So
yeah, exactly. Just before that though, we saw I'd noticed in the background bit of a hefty move from Josh Thompson on the exit of Knickerbrook, giving a bit of a hip and shoulder to Ralph Cullinan.
Josh doing a hefty move? This is so unusual.
I know, yeah, he's going to have to behave himself now he's on camera. You can't hear what it's like, but he's going to have to see whether he can get this done on Rob Graham as they come down the straight. Rob third place in the race from an AM perspective. Benjamin Mears leading that fight with Rob Lundgren second. Josh is on the outside going in, and there's contact and smoke and other cars and Lundgren, and that's Warmingham, and Warmingham. McIntyre is around in that.
We need to get out and take a little look at that back, I think, see exactly what happened.
McIntyre and Cullinan still making contact as they come back on the track, but that's important for the championship. I'm not sure whether there was contact before that. Well, there must have been, but I don't know whether it was someone just spun back. Oh, it's Cullinan. He tries to swing it round and ends up tail smacking McIntyre there, and there's one of the Automat cars crabbing like mad up the hill.
Yeah, and McIntyre's got quite a lot of damage as well. Doesn't look too bad. I mean, usually your steering's got to be held at about 30 degrees before you get a meatball, isn't it? I think if you're if you like that, I think you're okay. He would. He's not going to get a meatball for that. Right.
I think it's just going to be a bit oversteery when he turns left, though.
Yeah. Let's get back to live and see how he's doing. He already had the damage though, didn't he? So, where is Cherney?
Cherney's up to 6th place.
Yeah, so it's
gained 14 positions.
It's gonna close that gap up a little bit more. It still puts the pressure on him, but as long as McIntyre can finish, that's going to be the critical thing, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was 77 points before this one, so I'm not quite sure what the exact scorings will be. I'll probably be able to find that in their spreadsheets. To be fair, I might have to have a quick ganders.
Or you could just wait for them to update the sheet at the end of the race. Or as Mias and Murray go at it.
Great scrap.
For the minute. Yeah, I thought for the minute Mias was going to pile into him. Doesn't got the right line to almost try a cutback. Kyle Hardy and Ververke having a little battle in the same spot as well.
It is a great sort of section of corners for that sort of thing. You get really nice overlaps into those chicanes. You see it with cars like this especially more. I mean, some of the club events that I've been to before previously have been absolutely brilliant at Oulton Park, but when something like the BTCC comes into town, sometimes the cars are too sort of bulky to have those sort of moves done on them. But you know what the BTCC boys are like; they always try, don't they?
Yeah, got to give it the best efforts, that's for sure.
I mean, it's really piling on the pressure to Lord Murray now, but Lord looks really quick tonight. He's done a good job. He's just been a bit unlucky, it seems.
Yeah,
using up those 1Xs.
Yeah, that's it. Of course, just in case you didn't worry. And look, you can see everybody in the background doing it. You can see almost on the timing tower, all of the red marks coming on at the same section of the circuit, and you can see it on the mini map as well. The cars get highlighted by red as well, so you can see him just running a little bit wide and picking up the off tracks.
It's like
there
a
as well.
Mexican wave, isn't it?
Yeah.
Exactly. Your timing screen.
Guys,
I did find out, by the way. Sorry to cut you off for like the third time in about a minute. The scoring for the points, you get 100 points for a win, and then it's down in increments of 5, and then 2, and then eventually just 1 point per place. So I think where they are, they're within the they being Cherney and McIntyre, they're in the 1 points in inverted commas sort of position. So I don't think he's going to lose too much at this point. So it's going to be like 11 points, I think, maybe sort of towards 15-20. So should be okay, but there's 100 points on offer for the last races. That is Cullinan on the infield in the background doing a bit of a flicker as Lundgren is defending for his life here from Broughton Grant. Doing a great job coming out of Knickerbrook. Broughton Grant's going to try and find every little tiny gap he can. A little bit of contact there. Backed out of it though. And Max Wright was really unlucky there because he had to slow down to avoid Broughton Grant. Well, Van Gool's the one that's lucky now because Broughton Grant shows him that he's not going to make it that easy for him. I think he just ran wide on the brakes possibly. That looks like Jamie Ayres in the background pulling out on, is it Kip Stevens? Or am I thinking of the wrong person here?
I think it was
McCarran, wasn't it?
McCarran and Hardy was the one side by side.
McCarran really trying to squeeze him.
Holmes putting the fastest lap. He's constantly into the 46s, but doesn't seem to be able to get anywhere.
Yeah.
15th at the moment. They're still side by side. With this battle for, well, it says battle for 10th, but really it's 11th because these guys are. Oh dear!
That tested the suspension a bit.
Yeah. I was about to say they're far enough away from Ververke they can't be classed to be battling with them.
This is for superiority of red cars with green wheels, this, and Kip Stevens is the ref.
Although Kip won't be asking for a clean fight, that's the thing.
Oh, Kip will be egging him on, saying, go on, hit him, go for it, go on, you don't need your brakes. Oh, now, teammates are going to get involved here. We've got Broughton Grant there. He seems to have just sort of, I don't know whether he's got out of the way or going defensive in that regard.
Oh, everyone just in a little bit deep, weren't they there? And really compromised their line. And behind, I think that was Ayres was having a little look, and all of a sudden he's now under pressure from Holmes. Holmes finds himself with a lot of pace advantage, but nowhere to go.
Yeah, that's the thing around here. It's 2 MX5s wide at best around here, so you're not going to find many opportunities. The slipstream down that straight to Knickerbrook is the most important part of this race, I'd say, because that's where most people are getting the moves done. If you can get a nice run like that, though, just like Jamie Ayres has done to prove me wrong, you can get a move done into Lodge Corner.
You can see a little replay of a move that pushes Thompson up and into second place with 3 laps to go.
That was very
final corner. Yeah, committed, wasn't it, on the brakes?
Yeah.
And made the apex perfectly as well, and really didn't compromise his exit too much. He's going to have to go a little bit defensive on Murray here and into turn 1, but I think he's got that covered.
Yeah, very commanding move as always from Josh. He's a very confident driver, and it shows in how he makes his overtakes. And that was just textbook stuff from him. Looks really good on track tonight, so he's doing well to be up there. I mean, he's gained 20 places, and the guy we look at right now has gained 22. Peter Van Gool up into 7th position, right behind Max Wright.
Good move as well. Got the run done out of there, and he'll carry that momentum all the way up the hill. And I don't think Max can do too much. Duck back into the slipstream, but it's not really going to get enough momentum to have a look back. Yeah, so yeah, good drive from Gould. How many places is Gould up at the moment as well? 23. None too shabby at all.
No, he's flying, isn't he? He's doing a really good job. Really good job, as they've got Viverke behind them there. Nice little train behind that. That's brought Grant with McCarron, Stevens, Holmes, and I believe I forgot who it is. Number 24. It's Carl Hardy and Adam Hedgecock behind them. I nearly got there. Battle rages on.
Jamie Ayres dropping down the order. He's got a connection problem, I think. As there's, I think we're going to see him drop out of the server any second.
Yeah.
Back to the middle of this battle.
It's always a shame. I mean, everyone says that stuff like that wouldn't happen in real life, but it's like an engine failure or something going wrong in the car, isn't it, really?
Yeah,
it's
yeah, exactly.
something that's out of your control. I think that's how, I mean, I know some people are very realistic about how this goes. That's how they see it. It's an engine failure, for example, because at the end of the day, your internet is your engine in this sort of thing, isn't it? As we see McCarron making the most of the 1Xs down towards Cascades, down the inside, heavy on the brakes. Gets it turned in and off it goes. Kip Stevens going through past Broughton Grant as well. As we see John Roberts at about 45 degrees of bank there. Oh, that sounds like it's gone around. It has. That was lucky. Great shot that, them going through that hairpin.
McIntyre losing ground again. He's actually down 3 spots. Not been the race at all that he would have wanted.
That right rear looks really broken. Really does. As we see Kip Stevens down the inside on the brakes on Nick McCarron into the chicane. Kip, very demanding move, goes straight through. It looks like he's really doing well tonight, as Kip. He's properly on the pace, isn't he?
Yeah, where's it's up to 21 spots as well, so yeah, that's pretty good.
It's just great to see them all filtering through to Druids, absolutely on it. They are a really good, really good car to watch, these MX-5s. Kip gets a slide on out of Druids there. That's going to give McCarron a bit more of a run, but he's gained that much ground on him already. I'm not really sure he's actually going to do it, as we see Hedgecock trying to put a move on Carl Hardy in the background. The Mexican wave of off-tracks has just started on my timing screen. Josh Thompson and Lorne Murray, the first 2 culprits. I'm going to call out anyone that gets one this time around now. And probably, knowing me, they're not going to now. See what these boys do. Well, there's one. I don't think he got one, actually, Kip Stevens there. I think he got away with that, just about.
We're on the final lap of the race, though. And Regan, he hasn't had too much chat, I'm afraid, and he just disappeared, didn't he, at the start? And that's what happens.
Yeah, he did it at Virginia as well. He did a fine job of it there as well. So it's nice to see him making his mark on the series. I mean, we've seen him obviously just for 2 meetings now, and he's got 2 wins out of that, and that's not something that everyone does in this series. So fair play to him, showing his pace, and he's doing the boosted boys proud, I'm sure. As Lorne Murray is. Not sure whether he's putting Josh Thompson under pressure or the other way around, but actually Josh overtook him last lap or the lap before, so Lorne's sticking with him.
Trying to come back, another off track for Thompson there. And you've got them to use, haven't you? So you know when you're under a bit of cosh, you know why not if you've got them there.
Just shows that sums it up, don't it, for Regan? He's absolutely on his own out there. Clean car. Really clean race, and as he comes out of the final corner, he's going to take the win in the 3rd race of the night. Fantastic result, Jack Regan. That's 2 wins in 2 meetings. Very well deserved and very well done.
Phenomenal. And Thompson, he's going to hold on to this for 2nd place as well. Good drive from him. Journey right there as well. So he gets himself a top 5. That's a good drive too.
Yeah, very good result. That's what he needs. Peter Van Gool as well, up 23 places to 6. That's a fantastic drive, that is. And we've seen Kip Stevens as well up there. He's gone up 21 places. A lot of big moves in that one. Adam Hedgecock, one of them, up 18 places as well. But Jack McIntyre at the moment is 19th on the road. And with Cherney finishing in 5th place, that's really going to close this up as we head into the last race of the evening and the season.
Yeah, hopefully after we spin the wheel, someone will be updating the points, and we can sort of bring those going into what will be the final race of the evening.
Yeah, we'll see whether we can have a live update from that as we go along. It's always nice to try and pull that off, but at the same time, I don't want to make an idiot of myself if I get it wrong. So we'll weigh up the risk with that one, I think, in the break, and see whether Chaz can rack his brains. We'll just wait for the last few guys to finish now so we can get our results from what's been another good race tonight. It was a bit cleaner than the last one. A few little knocks and bangs, but didn't seem as shoddy driving, I'd say.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say so. Nothing but just sort of fair hard driving really out there. I mean, I'm sure there'll be a couple of incidents that we will have missed that people will be going, what are you on about? Did you not see this?
Yeah, always the way. But that's it. It's so busy on the track all the time in this series because these cars are so sort of nippy and bouncy. It's, well, you just can't look away from it, can you?
Alright, here we go. Let's just retrieve the positions, and yep, so up on screen.
So Jack Reagan takes a really flawless victory, as we saw him do at Virginia. 6.2 second lead in the end from Josh Thompson and Lorne Murray completing the podium. Benjamin Mears stayed up there. He's the highest finishing AM driver in that race, with Alex Cherney finishing a vital 5th place. We'll have to see what he can do into the last race of the night. Peter Van Gool up 23 places, a fantastic effort in 6th, with Max Wright 7th and Viverke in 8th. Kip Stevens 9th, 21 places gained for him, another great result, with Nick McCarron making a strong return tonight in 10th. Carl Hardy finished 11th with Hedgecock 12th. 13th was Broughton Grant. 14th was Brian Holmes. Like we said, he had the pace but just couldn't get past anyone. Well, I'll say that. He gained 7 places, so shut up. 15th place for Dan Blake. 16th for Sean Gardner. 17th, David Ayres. 18th was Anthony Jacobson. 19th was Jack McIntyre, losing 5 places after the damage that he received. So he's going to be trying to hold his chin up for the last race and see what he can do. Addy King up 8 places to 20th, with Jordan Roberts in 21st, Ralph Cullen in 22nd. And the cars more than 1 lap down. Rob Graham was 2 laps down in 23rd. Jamie Ayres was 24th, Rob Lundgren 25th, Luke Clark 26th, with Warmingham 27th, Steve Heather 28th, and Mick Barry, Adam McNally, and Gareth Hickling all 8 laps down.
Right, straight into the wheel, I feel. Let's get it done. Beginning, very decent spin this time. Coming back into play. Looks like it's going to be around about 30th. I don't think it's going to hold on to 45th, or is it? Oh, it does. We've had nothing but massive ones tonight.
And that would mean that we have Ralph Cullen on pole position, with John Roberts 2nd, Adrian King in 3rd, and Jack McIntyre 4th.
Nice. Well, that should make for an interesting race as well. Yeah. Perfect for what McIntyre needs, really, doesn't he? So he's, I sense like McIntyre's just holding on this one. He's like, I must finish. He's had one of those meetings where can't really show anything, can't really show his pace out there at all, because he has been quick. I mean, the practice session before the races, he's been at the top of the timing table, but just hasn't really been able to show that. In fact, constantly got damaged. So yeah, just one race where he can have a clean one. Maybe this will be the one. Yeah,
fingers crossed for him. I'll have to see what he can do.
Right, we'll be back then in about 15-20 minutes. Stay tuned here at Apex Racing TV.
chair of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMerrick at the line. finish here of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMary up the line.
And welcome back to Oulton Park. I'm Charles Draycott alongside Alex Simpson, and we're here for the last round of the evening and the last round of the season. It's going to be quite an exciting one. We've got 60 points between our two main title contenders, which means that really all McIntyre has to do is finish. Alex, what do you think is going to be going through his head right now?
Yeah, I mean, exactly that, I think. I don't think he anticipated having quite the night that he's had. I think he felt like he would be able to hold on to this quite comfortably. Pace-wise, he's right there with Cherney, so just needed to be there or thereabouts for every meeting. But the gap has come down. I think not as much as Cherney wanted. He would have wanted to put a little bit of pressure onto him, just naturally anyway. But yeah, for now, one big crash could ruin it actually for McIntyre. There's that many points up for grabs now, so he does, like you say, I think he just needs to take it easy, make sure he finishes, brings the car home clean and safe, because he's been on the absolute verge of gifting the mini season to Cherney at this point.
And you say that just then about being careful, and we just saw him fly through the last corner, bouncing around all over the curbs and the grass, so he doesn't repeat that. So looking at the grid then, we have Ralph Cullinan in pole position with John Roberts second on the grid. He's always got quite good luck with these reverse grids as John Roberts when he's not having the best of nights. Eddie King third on the grid with championship leader Jack McIntyre fourth. That's always that's going to be an interesting one, seeing how he deals with those boys. Anthony Jacobson's fifth, David Ayres is sixth, Sean Gardner seventh, Dan Blake eighth, Brian Holmes in ninth. Hopefully he can make more places up in this one than he did in the last one. And Broughton Grant is 10th. We've got Alex Cherney down in 18th place. So he's really got some work to do. So not only does he need to gain those places and be ahead of McIntyre, he needs McIntyre not to finish, and he needs to get as many points as possible.
Fortunately, no sort of pit line start for McIntyre this time, so can just try and do his thing.
Got a few cars missing off the grid though, as everyone's revving up, ready to go.
Loads.
That's two rows worth of cars, and they're away. Cullinan leads him away off the line then. Seems like Roberts bogged down a little bit. Eddie King doesn't get the best of starts. McIntyre's already up to third. Cullinan leading them round. Roberts running slightly wide. McIntyre on the grass. McCarran on the grass in the background there. One of the Automet boys on there as well. McCarran plays it. Not McCarran, sorry. McIntyre plays it safe, slots into third. Just going to keep my eye out on the timing screen. Oh, there we go. We can see the whole of Cascades, and everyone seems to have gotten through.
Yep, first time tonight, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Well, actually, I tell a lie. This is where we got to the first race, and then it all went to pot. So let's see this time. John Roberts got much better run out of the corner than Cullinan. There's a couple of people off.
Yeah, McNally that was on the infield, but Cullinan clipped the grass on the inside of that hairpin. and it really made him bounce wide, and that's why John just got a really nice overlap. He only just missed the back of him there. So we've got Addy King with Broughton Grant, and I believe that's David Ayres in the background. Addy King just defending his place there. He's got a big stream of cars behind him now. There's a lot too wide actually going through Knickerbrook there. There's Championship battler Alex Cherney in there with Josh Thompson. And race 3 winner Jack Regan. Kip Stevens in there with them. He's been looking racy tonight, but I think he's been caught out here because he's just going backwards a little bit.
I think for Cherney, all he needs to do is make sure that he just works his way forward a little bit, and hopes that McIntyre has a retirement in this one. He's not going to catch up enough points in this race, no matter what happens. So it really needs McIntyre to get involved in something, and he's just moved himself up to 2nd place. So that's looking less likely. But Ray's not giving up on this one, coming back around the outside.
Have to see whether he chooses to involve McIntyre in something if anything goes wrong there, but he's doing really well there. We've got Dan Blake and Brian Holmes behind them though. Those two have been absolutely on fire tonight. To see whether they can make any further progress forward. So at the end of the first lap then, it looks like the biggest mover so far is actually Josh Thompson up 9 places, and as I say that, Jack Regan's off the track. He's dropping down the order. Dan Blake makes a bit of a mistake there out of the hairpin. But Regan has flown down the order. He's off in the infield. I think he might have lost that coming around the kink. What do you reckon?
Yeah, quite possible. Let's see if we can see where he went off. Here we go. He's on the outside anyway, so if there's some too wide action, could be why. On the outside of Stevens, and there was no contact, but just took a little bit too much speed in there. Yeah. And then, yeah, he's had no choice but to sort of get the car stopped and suffer the consequence of the slowdown penalty.
Yeah, it's the safer option though, isn't it? I mean, we've seen a few guys do it tonight and a few people choose not to. I mean, Steve Hefford, I think, is the only one that's pulled it off as well as we've ever seen around there, like he did in race 3. But got the 2 Result Clothing car boys fighting here with Dan Blake right behind him. That's Broughton Grant and David Ayres.
Yeah, that was for 5th place.
Dan later on the brakes, slots the car in. Nice work. And you've got Hedgecock getting involved in that as well behind them. Back at the front there, you just saw him flash across the bottom of the screen. That was McIntyre down the inside of Roberts. And he's got the job done, it seems. Jack McIntyre leads the race.
Let's get that back and quick look at that. Well, it's not completely finished, is it? But now it is.
Brian Holmes there as well. I think Holmes is going to give McIntyre a real good run for his money, though, in this one now. He can't rest easy and just run away from it. And we've seen that Roberts, when he wants to put people under pressure, he's really got the pace. So he's not out of the woods yet.
No, not at all. But he's in a comfortable position as far as, you know, you shouldn't expect anything too rash. Holmes is a very good driver. Don't want to curse that as well.
I think I've just cursed John, by the way, because he's dropped off these pair now. Sorry, John.
But yeah, I think yeah, they'll have a good little battle, but it'll be nothing but a fair one between these two. And Holmes straight to the inside as well. I'm not surprised to see him work his way towards the very front at some point in this meeting, because he has been consistently very quick, even though he was spun around in that last race. Did it? Not the last race, the 2nd race, wasn't it? He had a great performance, moving up so many places, and like I say, for a good 10 seconds he was facing backwards.
Yeah, he's I think he set the fastest lap in 2 of the 4 races tonight, and even when you're battling in the pack like you are with these guys, you don't get much clean air, so for him to do that on 2 occasions just shows that it wasn't just luck on his side, it was just pure pace. And I mean, he's been rapid in every single broadcast we've done for him in this MX5, but he just seems to have bad luck and get caught up in incidents. And hopefully, if he gets a good result out of this one, he can put that sort of, I wouldn't say losing streak, but you know what I mean, he would put a bad luck streak to end anyway.
That Hedgecock and Dares, there it is, yeah, having a good old battle as well. And McCarran trying to get in on that one as well. And he's up around the outside on David. Will he be able to hold it? Yes, he will. Ayres actually not really sort of pushing that too much, and Cherney now trying to get the cut back. So Ayres just finds himself swamped all of a sudden.
Yeah, there was a bit of the little right kink's called the Avenue, and there was a little bit of a shoulder barge through there. I don't know whether David turned in a little bit early or Nick sort of just washed over towards him, but there was a bit of a bump because Cherney really has to get on the brakes there, not to go in the back of David Ayres. He seems a lot quicker around this section. You've got Max right there, really putting one of the Ultimate boys under pressure. That's Roy Verke. There's so many red cars though, look at him. Cherney then on Ayres, and McHerron on Hedgecock, or Hedgecock on McHerron. I don't know which way around that was now. It's a great battle though. There's a really, really good mix of drivers in here. Cherney really has to be careful there, as that's Carl Hardy putting his nose down the inside and getting the place. And Wright in the background has got ahead of Verke, who's now under pressure from Jamie Ayres.
I love it. The battle box can't really keep up with the changes in this battle.
Yeah,
it's constantly changing on screen right now, but that just kind of shows you how close it is out there.
And that's Carl Hardy on the infield. I just winced a little bit because I thought him and Cherney made contact there.
Holmes is dropping down the order. I think that's a connection problem, is it, for Holmes?
Oh, Van Gool in the barrier, bounces off the tyre wall on the inside there at Lodge. And that does seem like Brian Holmes is... Yeah. Oh, well that's really, really not good.
That's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah, we were just saying about how quick he's been, and he gets to the front, and I think his internet might have just cracked under pressure there. It's a 2x2 down Cascades. Look at these lot. Kip Stephens through the middle there, trying to make his way through it. Cherney's backing out and playing it safe. Steve Hefford's there going past Hedgecock. Hefford's had a really good race again as well. He's how many places has he gained? 20 places so far, up to 7th.
Oh well.
Oh, and it was. And Cherney's involved. Cherney's in it.
Yeah, minor contact. He'll be okay. And so it makes no difference for Cherney, does it? Really, where he finishes in this race, he just needs to finish and hope that McIntyre doesn't. I think. Well, I say that he needs to finish high enough up to get the 60-odd points he needs, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So
yeah, true.
that's the.
I don't think there's anywhere it could go though.
No, nothing. It was just a little bit of contact with Kip, wasn't it? That sort of set that all going. And I'm not sure who it was. Oh yeah, Robert Slope on the outside. Everyone's going to stream past him. No momentum up the hill.
John's had really bad luck again tonight. It seems he dropped down a little bit earlier when I managed to curse him, and now he's I don't know whether he's just had a small off there because he seems back up to pace again. So it's not like the car's damaged. He's all over the back of Warmingham.
McNally was trying to get by Verke there, but Roy holds on, and that's Max Wright having a little look as well now. Poor exit actually for Verke. McNally with, or should we say, a great exit from McNally. Give him the run. He's looking one way, then the other, and then the other, and yeah, he's going to throw it up the inside. And I dare say he'll run. He doesn't run wide at all, so fantastic move. Yeah. So many people we've seen would have just sort of taken that off track at that point and to complete the move, but Roy very fair as well, didn't squeeze him too much, and he come under a bit of pressure because of that.
Yeah, I think they made slight contact as he changed direction down the straight there. I saw the rear end of Verke's car shake around a little bit, so I don't know whether he's taken a few layers of paint off it, but he's they got lucky there, I'd say, but still really good racing from these. I mean, Warmingham's one that's always shown he's got a little bit of pace, but just no look at all, and he's sticking it to Verke there as we look back at Jamie Ayres chasing down David Ayres, spelled differently, just for the record, as you can probably see on screen. Obviously I can't see the overlay, but here comes Kip Stephens as well, trying to get involved in the fight. They've got Benjamin Mears behind that. It's a really tricky section of corners because that racing line just overlaps as you come out of there.
Yeah, the fastest line, not necessarily the fastest when it comes to racing, because you can driver can poke his nose in there, and all of a sudden you compromise somewhat. So you have to be careful, play it sort of cagey, There's
Reagan
having a little look behind as well. You can see in this battle. Sorry, Thompson.
Yeah, he's up 18 places. I was just going to say, up onto the podium now. Showing again that he's the class of it when he's not getting caught up in accidents. As we see Jamie Ayres and Kip Stevens getting very close together there down the straight. Jack Reagan, as you said, he's up there as always, showing he's got the pace and the consistency. Look how close those two are around there. That's fantastic. That was really good to see. They were just completely the same distance all the way around the corner there. The cars had the same trajectories. And again, they're really close. Great racing there from Stevens and Ayres.
Yeah, and Jack gets the run on Stevens, so I think he's going to get this place back that he kind of lost a few laps ago. He actually just dropped to the back of that pack, so he's worked his way back through quite nicely, so good job from him to get back to ninth. And Jamie again starts maybe, well, he did for a moment, started looking forward at the back of David's car, see if he could get a run, but he's going to have to go a little bit defensive because Reagan's got a much better run here. What they're going to do.
Nice little shot at the switch over there. I think he's probably going to be, oh no, David's later on the brakes. Oh, Reagan gives him a bit of a helping hand into the corner. It's a bit of a cross up behind as well with Mears and McNally. We've not seen an awful lot of McNally tonight, actually. I think he's had a few incidents or something, but he seems to have been struggling.
Missed this change for position as well. This was for second, so Thompson moves himself up to second. I'm surprised he's even there. I was trying to keep an eye on it so we could see it, and I didn't think he was going to get there in the end, but yeah, he has, and got a great run out, and I think he's cleared. Yeah, he has cleared Rafe even before the braking zone.
Yeah, it's a great run out of there. Really good run. He must have just nailed the exit, and Cullinan must have had just a bit of a little mistake or something. It's easy to get a wobble on out of that corner though, because it's off camber and then it levels out, and there's a big bump on one of the curbs on the exit, so it's easy to unsettle this car. And I think that's probably what he did, as we see John Roberts all over the back of Max right here. Is he going to jump out into the braking zone and have a look? No, he's going to follow him round. Max really chucks it in, gets it a bit sideways. He's on the grass. Bit of grass tracking. Keeps it nice and out of the way for John though. Gives him plenty of room, and through he goes. Seems like he's on a bit of a mission now, does John? He's had his mistake and he's just coming fighting back now, as we see this big gaggle of cars still fighting away in front of him.
Not really anywhere for any of them to go. They're sort of 2 by 2 now, aren't they?
Yeah. We're so close to clipping that white line as well, then if you go on the grass there, you may as well just say goodbye at that point. Just let go of your wheel.
Brian is on the chat informing us that his internet did in fact crap out on him, as he put it.
That's a real shame that is as well, especially
without 3 wide.
Adam McNally
through the middle, tries it. It's late on the brakes for Ayres. That's good from Ayres, but McNally will get Stevens, I think, here.
Oh, Warmingham gets clipped there. I think that was Mears. There was just a bit of a crossover, and oh, Mears again.
Journey again, just trying to keep his nose out of it.
Yeah,
must finish at all costs, and hope something happens, an internet drop or something for our race leader. Can't really write the scripts like that, can you? Where McIntyre is an absolutely shocker of a meeting, but yeah, he's going to get a win to take the championship. Got one more lap to go.
Well, we know what his internet's been like all season. Let's not say that.
Well, yeah, this is true.
But no, he has been the class of the field. I think probably the best performance I've seen from Jack this season was the meeting at Charlotte. Just every time we looked at him on the timing screen, he was up at least 20 places, and he was always up there fighting. And he put in an absolutely stellar performance. As McNally flies down the inside of Ayres there. Just to revisit as well that manoeuvre a moment ago when they were 3 wide into the Knickerbrook chicane. It was really good from Kip Stevens to keep the car out of the way. He really straight lined it on the brakes. And I say that, and then Kip Stevens has actually disappeared down the timing screen.
Yeah.
I just noticed I was looking for him then because I was thinking, where's he gone in relation to McNally? And he has gone. Unfortunately, we've lost Kip in some form of incident. Jack's just on his own, isn't he? Doing a fantastic job.
Oh, this is the best battle, I think, going on. Just sort of keep an eye on the little ones that are there, but Hefford got a pretty decent run. Robert's not able to do anything.
All Roberts is deep though. Really deep on the brakes.
Oh, race quite close to Thompson here. He wants this place back. That's for sure. Oh, let's go side by side, round the outside. Sorry, this is not, this is Dan Blake, isn't it, in Cullinan?
Very
Here
down.
comes, here comes McIntyre, though, to take the win. And the mini season with it. Fantastic race, and he needed a bit of luck, did Jack, and he took that, and great job, and that's a nice little drift there. What's going on with these two? Who got it? Can't quite tell from that shot.
Cullinan, I believe. Cullinan got there. Just about a tenth, not even a tenth, well, just about a tenth of a second between them. As we see Ayres and Regan across the line. Who's that? There's Alex Cherney. And he put up a fantastic fight at the end. As he's side by side with Roberts across the line. Really good fight from Cherney all the way through the championship. A fantastic effort from Jack McIntyre. He just did what he does, doesn't he? He's just got so much pace and so much consistency. He can just drive away with it. It's just an absolute signature victory for him. And to round up the championship with a win as well, I think, is what we'd all like to do one day when put in that position. So, congrats to Jack, and congrats to the boys at Momo as well. I believe they've wrapped up the teams championship in that one as well. I think they probably had it a long way before that, but that's that one. Sorry, what did I miss there? I heard.
Well, no, that was. I'm obviously watching AD King finish his race, but they're. They weren't battling. They were just having a bit of fun after the race was finished behind. They ended up hitting each other off of the on the circuit. So.
I'm sure there'll be donuts aplenty and accidents aplenty after the line. That's what happens when these boys finish the championship. As we see Max Wright very respectfully getting out of the way there of Eddie King as he comes around the final corner now. Out of Lodge, puts his foot down, goes up Deer Leap, where my brother once fell off his bike, but that's a long story. And he crosses the line. As we see the red arrows as well on the back straight.
Yeah. Oh my God! Just look at them. Next season, lads, we need a slight change of liveries, I reckon.
This will be the Momo boys celebrating.
Yeah.
Jack obviously celebrating winning the championship with some nice drifty poos there, and the Momo boys on winning the team's championship. But when you see the driver lineup they've got, it's an absolutely untouchable lineup, to be fair. The Youth Energy boys gave them a good run for the money. And it was actually the Auto Mech Knock Hill boys as well that were up there. With Roy Ververke putting a fantastic effort in the championship. I believe he actually finished it in third as well. Highest AM driver by nearly 800 points from David Ayres.
Yeah, smashed it.
But there's the man of the moment, Jack McIntyre, mini-season champion, with his teammates Nick McHerron, Steve Hefford and Jamie Ayres. I remember seeing the first broadcast I did on this series with Jamie Ayres and Jack McIntyre just driving away from everyone at Watkins Glen. It was a sight to behold, and it's good to see the results paying off for them. They've done a smashing job.
Right, we have run out of time, I'm afraid, Jazz. We better run us through the final results, and then we'll wrap the show and head off.
So, championship winner and race winner Jack McIntyre finishes in first place, with Josh Thompson up 19 places to second. Ralph Cullinan in third place. Really good effort by Ralph to stay up there and stay on the podium. He's the highest AM driver by a long shot. Dan Blake, another smashing result there in fourth place, with Nick McHerron in fifth. Adam Hedgecock in sixth, with Jamie Ayres seventh. And Jack Regan in 8th, Steve Hefford 9th with Max Wright in 10th, and David Ayres in 11th with Alex Cherney in 12th position. And John Roberts 13th, Roy Ververke 14th, Richard Warmingham 15th, Mick Barry in 16th, Anthony Jacobson 17th, Rob Graham 18th, and Addy King in 19th place, with Adam McNally a lap down in 20th. You had then Benjamin Mears, Kip Stevens, Carl Hardy, Peter Van Gool, Broughton Grant, Luke Clark, Brian Holmes unfortunately losing his internet connection while in the lead, Gareth Hickling, Lorne Murray, and Sean Gardner. And that is the sound of donuts on the straight, I believe.
Yeah, why not? Great fun. Right, sorry to sort of finish the stream and run off, but we have run over just a little bit, and had I was awake for 23 and a half hours yesterday, so I'm feeling a little bit worse for wear, I have to say. Hit the sack a bit early. So, thanks everybody for tuning in. Of course, we'll be back on Thursday night for the BSR MX5, BSR TC. I'm not even sure what I'm driving. That's how bad I am. And then, of course, Friday night it's the AOR Formula Renault Championship, and we'll be looking forward to that one. I believe we've got the Grand Tour on Sunday. But that's about it. So kind of a quiet week for us here at Apex Racing TV. But not been a quieter season so far for Jack McIntyre. He's took it in fantastic fashion. Congratulations to him, and of course to Roy Ververke on the AM Championship. We will catch you next week here at Apex Racing TV.